Hi, I'm Charlie from Summary Sanctum. So, what if I told you there's a way to unlock your absolute peak performance and find deep, genuine enjoyment in pretty much everything you do? It's a state called flow, and in this explainer, we're going to break down the science behind it, based on the incredible work of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
But first, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just on autopilot? Kind of going through the motions day in and day out? That feeling of being neither here nor there, just caught in this haze of boredom or maybe anxiety? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are definitely not alone. But what if there was a scientifically proven way to break free from that cycle for good?
The key to unlocking this state of deep engagement, it lies in a pretty surprising place. Csikszentmihalyi found that real happiness isn't about passive relaxation or just kicking back. It's about actively stretching ourselves. As he says, the best moments occur when a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits to do something difficult. This one idea, it's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
And this brings us to this really strange contradiction that so many of us feel in our modern lives. I like to call it the happiness paradox. Think about it. We have more comfort, more stuff, more free time than any generation before us. And yet, so many of us feel anxious and unfulfilled. So what's going on? Csikszentmihalyi calls this psychic entropy. It's a state of mental chaos where our attention is just pulled in a million different directions. It's that feeling of, scrolling on your phone while the movie's on in the background, but you're not really paying attention to either one.
And here is the paradox in full effect. Studies actually show that people often feel more engaged, more creative, even happier at work. Yet, what do we all want? More leisure time. But that's where we often end up feeling bored and dissatisfied. It tells us something really crucial. We're often dead wrong about what actually makes us happy.
So, what is the antidote to all this mental chaos? Well, it's this incredibly powerful state of mind that Csikszentmihalyi discovered by studying people at their absolute best. Everyone from surgeons to rock climbers to artists. He gave it a name, flow.
You know that feeling, right? When you're so absorbed in what you're doing that the rest of the world just melts away? That's flow. It's that in-the-zone feeling, where time flies, your focus is laser sharp, and the activity itself is the entire reward. Think of a musician who's just lost in a solo, or a coder deep inside a complex problem. That's it.
So, flow is the ultimate cure for that psychic entropy we talked about. Instead of a scattered, chaotic mind, you get a focused one. All your mental energy is aimed at a single, clear goal, and that creates this amazing sense of inner order. And honestly, peak performance.
Okay, but how do we actually get into this elusive state of flow? The great thing is, it's not a matter of luck. It's about finding the perfect, delicate balance between the challenge of a task and our own personal abilities. Let's just think of it this way. If a challenge is way too high for your current skills, what happens? You get anxiety, right? Imagine a total beginner trying to play a complex piano sonata. On the flip side, if your skills are way too high for the challenge, you get pure boredom. A chess grandmaster playing tic-tac-toe, not going to happen.
The sweet spot, the magic happens in what's called the flow channel, and it lies right on that knife's edge between anxiety and boredom. It's that perfect place where the challenge matches your skills, pushing you just enough to stay engaged and constantly get a little bit better.
So, what are the actual ingredients that make up a flow experience? Well, Csikszentmihalyi identified 8 distinct components. And if you understand these and start building them into your activities, you can seriously increase your chances of finding flow. The easiest way to think about them is in 2 groups. First, you've got the setup, the conditions you need to create. You need a challenging activity that uses your skills, you need crystal clear goals, and you need immediate feedback. So for example, instead of just, I'm going to clean the kitchen, you set a clear goal, I'm going to clean it in under 15 minutes. The timer is your immediate feedback. Now, when you get that setup right, the really amazing internal experience just follows. Your actions and awareness merge into one. Your concentration is total. You feel in control. You stop being self-conscious, and time itself just seems to warp.
Experiencing flow is an incredible thing, but what if you could make it a regular, everyday part of your life? That's the real goal here, to build a life that's rich with these optimal experiences. This is what Csikszentmihalyi calls living an autotelic life.
The word autotelic. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. It comes from the Greek words for self and goal. It just describes an activity that is its own reward. You're not doing it for a paycheck or for some prize at the end. You're doing it for the pure joy of doing it.
And this leads to the idea of an autotelic personality. This is someone who has learned to create flow in almost any situation. They can take a stressful deadline and turn it into an exciting challenge. They can take a mundane chore and transform it into an engaging game. They are, essentially, the masters of their own inner experience.
So, you see, flow isn't some mystical state that's only for elite athletes or brilliant artists. It's a skill you can practice and cultivate in any part of your life. So, the real question isn't if you can find flow. It's where will you choose to create it today? The power to completely transform your experience? Well, it's in your hands.